Welcome to DemonMama's Pathologic 2 review. At long last, I will be reviewing, to the best of my ability in a live stream format, my favorite game of all time. A game that has deeply changed the way that I look at gaming, that has changed the way and challenged the way that I look at life, and a game that I think that every person who cares about video games should play. Even if it isn't the perfect game for you, I believe that you will gain a lot from playing it. It is a masterwork and a masterpiece. I'm going to tell you why, to the best of my ability, today. So if you're watching this in the future, welcome. Please make sure that you subscribe and come hang out with my lovely, lovely imps, whose words you will see dancing across the screen like the herb brides of the steppe, dancing their words across the screen until their clothes fall off, or something along those lines. What I will say is that in this review, I will do my absolute best to not spoil anything whatsoever. However, I will say that Pathologic is a almost unspoilable game. If you know anything about the game, it won't matter, because the game is designed to be taken as an experience, okay? It is the most gamely game I've ever played. And the reason why I say that is because it truly understands its medium. Now, there's been a lot of discussion over the years about comparisons between film, comparisons between literature, comparisons between theater and video games. And I think part of that is the result of video games being a relatively young medium, by comparison to all the others, that is. Theater has had thousands of years to grow and appear, and develop and experiment. Film has had hundreds, and literature has, of course, had tens of thousands. Now, having said that, indeed, here is a game set in something of a theater, okay? Pathologic is a game about many, many things. It is a game about games. It is a game about theater. It is a game about stories. It's a game about people. It's a game about death. But most of all, it is a game about life. Is it a pain simulator? I think that's a fair way of describing it in certain ways, but it is more like a breakthrough simulator, if that makes sense. Pathologic is a game that challenges the way that you think about things and forces you to play the game on its own terms. And when I say that, I mean that it is, well, it's manipulative. It plays with you. And that, in my mind, is the sign of a good game. A game that forces you, without even knowing it, to play by its rules, to learn its universe, and to find yourself within it. That's a big deal, in my opinion. And it does that by cleverly outwitting you. Have you ever gone to a magic show? If you've gone to if you've ever gone to a magic show, like a magician, you will know that despite you knowing that there is no magic actually happening in front of you, you will be amazed and blown away, and you won't understand how the hell that magician managed to pull off what just appeared before you. Your knowledge of it being a trick, of it being a game, of it being manipulative, of it tricking you, doesn't impact, and in fact, maybe even makes it better. You know? And that is something that Pathologic really succeeds at. So that's what Pathologic is. But you might be saying, okay, all right. This is a lot of high-minded nonsense, Demon Mama. What actually is Pathologic? What do you do in it? And why do you keep saying Pathologic instead of Pathologic 2, which is the game we're actually talking about? Well, let's get that part out of the way, okay? Pathologic 2 is the masterwork which we're discussing. It was preceded by a game called Pathologic, which most people play nowadays as Pathologic Classic HD. Don't worry, you do not have to play that game at all whatsoever in order to enjoy and play Pathologic 2. Pathologic 1 is best understood as the larval form of Pathologic 2, whereas Pathologic 2 is the perfected adult form of the game. It is the completed, idealized version. And for that reason, I recommend playing Pathologic 2 and ignoring the fact that it's called Pathologic 2. The best way to understand it is Pathologic version 2, Pathologic V2. That's the way that you should best understand it. It's not a sequel, it's a version 2. It's a 2.0. And this is lost in translation, of course, because it's a Russian game. Now don't get me wrong, Pathologic Classic HD is incredible, but it has its issues. It is built in a different engine. Its simulation is significantly more limited, and its translation is more limited. Pathologic 2 tells essentially the same story, but better streamlined, better translated, and properly adapted to modern technology. Yeah, the game, yes, without any spoilers, the game literally starts by saying that the director is unhappy with how the first one went. Yeah.
All of today is just dress rehearsal.
So you insist on a second attempt, huh? Stubborn. Indeed. Indeed. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, could I get some sus in chat? Can I get some sus in chat? Can I get some sus in chat? Capital S-U-S? I would love to be able to show off our beautiful, beautiful sus emote. This is the image of Mark Immortel, one of the important characters from both Pathologic HD and Pathologic 2. And as you can see, we're getting a massive combo here of sus. We love our Mark Immortel here. But Pathologic 2 is a game where you play as a doctor in a plague. Yeah, 50 marks. That's pretty amazing. I'm actually blown away with this. Normally I would be freaking out, but because I'm doing a segment, you know, I just look at that. 50 people comboed, no interruptions. That's pretty goddamn good, gotta say. Really impressed with that. Good job, imps. Good job. is to the base game, the horror specs. You play as the horror specs. However, they have also released a DLC called the Marble Nest, which is a incredibly good proof of concept for the rest of the game. Now, in the original Pathologic, there are 3 characters. In Pathologic 2, only one of the characters' storyline is complete as of right now, and the other 2 will be released in due time. However, that does not mean the game is truly incomplete. You will enjoy playing through Pathologic 2, even though it doesn't have the other 2 campaign trails from the first game. Just don't worry about that, okay? Just don't worry about it. Put on your doctor suit and step into town on Gorkon, a remote Russian town on the edge of the steppe that has found itself in a particularly troubling predicament. Supplies are low, the people are unhappy, and a plague is encroaching on the horizon. Now, I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact that Pathologic is a absolutely terrifying horror game. It is a absolutely spine-chilling game. Easily one of the most terrifying games I've ever played. And it is a game that doesn't jump scare you ever. There is no jump scares in the entire game. Me too. No spoilers though. There's no jump scares. The game does not. I don't think there's a single jump scare whatsoever. The game's horror is existential. It is environmental. Pathologic 2 uses sound design, 3D sound, visual design, and careful set design in order to make one of the most thorough, horrifying experiences you will ever experience. And but interestingly, the true horror in Pathologic doesn't really come from what you would traditionally consider, horror game fare, scary looking monsters or anything like that. Instead, it comes from the painful relatability of the game. The way that you are made shockingly aware of your own mortality and of the mortality of others. You are made shockingly aware of your limits, of your failures. And because of that, of how you can succeed, of how you can live, and why you should live. Let me read you a quick quote from the game, okay? This is a quote that I found particularly interesting. And again, no spoilers. This is, it is something that, it's dialogue that happens, but out of context, it's not going to reveal anything. Here's some advice. Actually, the only advice that matters. Try not to die. Ever. Do you understand? Like, never, ever, ever. At all. Or it'll turn bad. Not just for you, but for all of us. The reason that's important is because this game punishes you very harshly for death. If you die in this game, it will hurt. In my first run of the game, I died 86 times. And there was a point in the game in which I had to figure out how to proceed with gameplay when I had somewhere in the ballpark of 6 to 15 seconds to survive once I walked out of the bed that I woke up on, because I had failed so many times because I was a dum-dum, but that's just how I play games, that I had been so punished that I had to micro to that level. Now, I did figure it out. That's up to them. That's up to them. That's up to them to decide. We're talking about Pathologic 2 right now. But I haven't even begun to sell the game yet. Oh, I can't tell you the punishment for death. That's for you to find out. And by the way, I should take this moment to reiterate the one thing that I have ever ordered my fan base to do is not to die. Because I can tell you right now that the punishment for death IRL is significantly worse than the punishment for death in Pathologic 2. And the punishment for death in Pathologic 2 will really make you regret dying, okay? So, yeah. Let me tell you another thing about Pathologic. Let's get some details out there for those who are interested. The gameplay of Pathologic is that of an incredibly in-depth survival game. Every aspect of the game is simulated. The entire town, the motion of the town, there is an AI for the town that you live in that keeps track of your reputation across different neighborhoods of the town, and those have secret numbers that you don't get to see that determine your reputation in nearby ones in order to simulate people talking about you with their neighbors. Absolutely incredible. Likewise, disease spreads through the town algorithmically. It is simulated. The spread of the disease is directly impacted by your actions. You haven't died in 35 years, I'm an expert. Don't get cocky. Don't get cocky, all right? Listen, you never know what type of things life's gonna throw at you. Trust me, I know that. I know that firsthand. You play first person as a doctor moving about this town, talking with people, discussing all kinds of things and trying to get to the bottom of a number of mysteries. And there's one other quote from the game that I really want to bring attention to, okay? Because this will describe the gameplay in a way that is better than me telling you what you actually do with your keyboard, okay? Here we go. Listen closely, imps. Everyone lies, so you can only get to the bottom of things by using your brain. Now that is very important to understand, okay? Because, indeed, nothing will be served to you on a platter in Pathologic 2. Nothing. Take every single thing that is being told to you with a grain of salt and compare it to the environment and to the other things that you know. Because every single goddamn character in Pathologic 2 has an agenda. Every single one of them. And many of them will lie to your face. And you have to figure out how to figure out the truth using your own goddamn brain. And that's really amazing, as it turns out. That's an incredible feature for a game to have. The characters lie to you all the fucking time. It's not a gaslighting sim. It's just that, and not even always lie. Sometimes they just don't know the truth, much like in real life. You know how you go online and there's lots of people talking confidently about all kinds of things. And if you don't think, you'll just take anything that comes your way. This is the problem of like fake news, right? Is like if you walk out into the world and you just take everything that people tell you, you're gonna get yourself in a lot of trouble. So don't be a dupe. Chromatic Scale says, this sounds like a game I'm going to struggle heavily with, but it's got to be so rewarding to figure shit out. It's more rewarding than any other game I've ever played. Ever. There is no... It is incredibly rewarding. And the funny thing is that it is hard. I struggled with it. I am not very good at most games. I struggled with the game, but completing the game was so rewarding. I have never had a more impactful game victory than Pathologic 2. Is fake news mostly an issue in the USA compared to other countries? No, it's a problem everywhere. It's a problem everywhere. And another thing that's very interesting about Pathologic 2 is that it is a trust simulator. I'm not kidding you. It is Crimson T-ville from Twitch chat. Don't wait for Halloween. Play it now and play it again in Halloween. Promise you. Is knowing that everyone's lying an advantage? No, I'm sorry. I'm not giving you any advantages. Because the game will tell you that everyone lies to you. That line right there, everyone lies, so you can only get to the bottom of things by using your brain, is one of the first lines in the game. I'm not giving you any advantages. I promise you. I might even be making it harder for you. Because I might be lying right now. In fact, I am lying right now, but you don't know what I'm lying about. You don't know what I'm lying about right now. And I am lying to you, just so you know. Something that I have said in this conversation is a lie, and you don't know which part it is. Now, I could go on and on about all of the amazing details about Pathologic 2 that you are going to get to experience when you inevitably download and play this game. But let me tell you this. It's got great guns. It's got great knives. It's got very fun combat. It has a massive bartering system. It has an incredible social system. It has a built-in thought map that is unlike anything you've ever seen in another game, that helps you parse information and keep track of it. It has a completely living town that is seamless. When you walk into a building, there's a very quick load, and if you turn around and look out the window, if there's a dead guy in the street, when you walk into the building, you will see that dead guy through the window of the building. It has organ harvesting. It has children swindling. It has mass death. It has screaming agony. It has monsters. It has visions from beyond. It has brilliant structures, the likes of which you cannot imagine. It has philosophy. You will learn from playing Pathologic 2. Does it have teeth jars? Actually, I don't know that it has a teeth jar. Has great controls. Now, it does have one drawback, which is that, oh yeah, I didn't even mention, it has a completely fleshed out surgical system. It has a completely fleshed out pharmaceutical system. There is an entire alchemy system in the game that requires you to deeply learn it at as fast of a pace as possible. Inventory management is very tactile. Is it a good game to play when you're having a stressful day? Yes, but not for the reason that you think. It is absolutely worth playing if you watch the H-Bomber Guy video. Yes, because I can tell you the second game is very different than the first one in certain key ways, although the story is ultimately the same. Again, a second version is the best way to understand Pathologic 2. I wish I had time to play it, but MHR is that Monster Hunter. Take a pause. Listen, no offense. Take a pause from Monster Hunter to play Pathologic. And the music, of course, is unbelievable. Breathtaking. Also, there's less racism. Actually, that's something that I wanted to touch on. I don't want to spoil anything, But Pathologic 2 actually does an incredibly good job of talking about important social issues that are still relevant today. And I know you might be like, Jesus Christ, what doesn't this game have? Oh, well, it talks about capitalism too. It talks about racism. It talks about capitalism. It talks about indigenous rights. It talks about prejudice. And that's only on one level. It doesn't really have sex. It doesn't explicitly have sex. It doesn't explicitly have sex. It has both titties and realistic body hair, which is kind of cool. And somebody, and this is a little bit of a Coomer note, but just so you know, the character models are incredibly high detail, down to their literal feet. And I can tell you this much: I've got a Coomer detector. Sorry, but when you detail the character's feet to that level, you got an angle. You got an angle. Okay, there's an angle. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. And yes, there is booba. Yeah, lovingly modeled feet detection. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, there's so much. There's just so much. Also, even if there's no explicit sex in the game, there are a lot of sexy characters, okay? Come on, there's a lot of sexy characters. Listen. I love me some femmes, but I literally... Okay, let me just tell you an experience. One night, this is how good the characters are written. One night, I was sitting in bed, and I started smoking and thinking about Pathologic, and I started crying my eyes out because I just wanted to hold Artemy's head and pet and just let him be okay. I just wanted to hold Artemy's head and just be like, it's fine. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. And that lets you know, like, I'm like almost exclusively into femme people, and if I want to just like cradle the head of this terrifically scarred doctor, it's that good. It is just unbelievable. Oh, exactly, Vermin. Correct. Aglaya, yeah, 100%. General Block, any of them. You pick a character, oh god, there's like 2 characters I wouldn't let near me, and that's about it. The rest are just sexy as fuck. Yeah. Oh, I would, of course, Artemy is Vosh's cat, but Artemy is the main character in Artemy is one of the main characters in Pathologic 2 as well. Yes, I know they did Elak Kaval. I do know that there is a serious bachelor horospex romance thing. You all will understand that when you play the game. That's for you. That's a treat for you in the future. It's a treat for you all in the future, okay? Now, with regard to your state of mind when you play this game, I played this game when I was in possibly one of the darkest periods of my life, and it was instrumental in helping me leave the darkest period of my life. I also, interestingly, played this game about 6 months before the world went into a pandemic. And I can tell you that, it is prophetic with regard to how it models social behavior in a pandemic, okay? And also, it's a little scary, okay? It's a little scary in how accurate it is, okay? It really is. Would you say this could be beneficial for a person in recovery? I believe this game, and I could be wrong here, but I believe this game is almost like, and I won't say that it literally is. Keep in mind, this is a little bit of hyperbole, responsible here, but this game is like dialectical behavior therapy in game form. It really is. This, and I'm gonna read you another quote real quick, okay? Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Give me a second and listen to this quote. The actor must understand how to work death. I'm not making this one for the audience, but for the actors themselves. Their inner world is the stage, their worldview. Do you see what I'm talking about here? This is a game that forces you to confront your own approach to problems. It is a game that forces you, through essentially magic, to confront your own way of solving problems, to confront the way that you think about things. And that's why it's a masterwork. That is true. I like that quote as well, Benefith. Good art comforts the disturbed and disturbs the comfortable. Interesting. That's true. This game will do both. This game will challenge you. And yeah. It's complicated, but it's very, very good. Okay? And I think you can, Undercat. Don't worry. Now, let me tell you what my experience was, okay? So I'm gonna be completely, this is a little thank you, okay? This is my thank you moment. So I was sitting in the dark on my computer in my old home, living in on a remote mountain in the middle of California, watching a streamer some of us may know by the name of Vosh. And I saw Vosh had been hyping up this game for a while, and he played 5 minutes of the game on stream. And I said, I'm sorry, I have to go and download this game. Pathologic 2 is the name of the game. Now, that was one of the best decisions that I ever made, because in leaving the stream to go play the game, and by the way, I missed the next 3 streams that Vosh did because I was playing Pathologic. Vosh does have phenomenally good media taste. Yeah. The intro is designed to get you interested, okay? But that's because VGG is... I'm not gonna comment, okay? I'm not commenting. You probably were, Silax. You probably were there to see me do that. Mirage Leonardo, I'm glad you haven't, because you should download it and play it after this. Nah, I disagree with that take there, Jade Monkey. Anyway, the problem is, and this is the one downside of Pathologic 2, or perhaps maybe it's an upside of Pathologic 2. You can't play it on stream. It's really hard to get the game to run efficiently on stream. It basically crashes when you try to stream it. And so as a result, it's not a good game to play on stream, both because it's way too introspective and also because it just doesn't run very well. Yeah, so go play it yourself, okay? I'm serious. This game will blow your mind. And I mean that. There's so much that I can't even say, because I don't want to spoil anything. But let me just give you, I don't even know. How do I even tease this part? Can I play one voice line? Here, let me give you something. All right, ready? Listen to this. Listen to this, okay? I want you to listen to this voice acting real quick. Because the voice acting is incredible. Just listen to this, okay? Ready? Ready? Listen. Listen closely.
Нет, Симона нам никто не заменит. У этого города слишком много ребер жесткости. На самом деле я слеп. Я давно уже не вижу вещей. В наше время стыдно быть безграмотным. Человек обязан уметь прочитать знаки судьбы.
Gregory came.
Представить внутренний покой способны лишь десятки. Построить единицы понять никто. Между почвой и космосом протянута пуповина. Она и лестница, и пружина, и тетива.
So this is the tier of artistry that goes into every corner of this game. Let me give you another one. Let's see. Who else should I play here? Let's do. You want to hear one of my favorites? Here we go. Let's see if I can find. Ooh, this one's good, but oh, I don't want to spoil anything. Hey, here we go. Here's another favorite. Let's do this guy.
Чья воля направила нас в эту чумную дыру? Сейчас мы нужны на
You want me to do
фронте.
Artemy?
Из героев народной войны они хотят превратить нас в карателей, в санитаров.
Both
У
are
нас
good, by the way.
осталось еще 2 дня. Послезавтра нужно принять решение. Это приказ властей.
So here's the thing. Both the English and the Russian dubs are good. Either one is really good. Personally, okay, so there are some things I like better, but I've played the game through twice. Well, I've played it through more than twice. But, yeah. You look like a hero from the front. True, Elak. True. Yeah. Like, this is just... The voice acting is phenomenal. I wish there's more. I'm trying to think. Oh, here's another one. Let me give you another line that's real good, okay? All right, here we go. Here we go. Let me get another one here for you. Wait, what? Why is it so hard to find these? Normally I could find these super easy. Hold on a second. I always know her. Oh, wait, why am I blanking on this? Why am I blanking on this? Where did I find this lines? Let me get you. I got you. Here we go. There we go. I always forget her English name. I always remember her step name, Saba. There we go. Here we go.
Собирайтесь, Хатангер, собирайтесь. Сентябрь у нас на дворе. Запоздали с жатвой уже. Запахи, запахи, запахи. Все пахнет.
Aspity. Yep.
Самое лучшее,
Also
что
Saba.
есть у людей, это запахи. 6 лет назад все было совсем по-другому. 4 года назад. А вот с тех пор ничего не менялось. Кума умна ворожила надвое. Не то помрет, не...
Yeah, chills, right? I know. This is Russian. This is the Russian lines. I would recommend a solo experience. However, I will say that while you're playing it solo, people will walk by and they will sit down and watch you play. It has happened every single time. And in fact, both of like my partners have ended up picking up the game and playing it just from seeing me play it because it is that enveloping. And by the way, these, just so you know, these models are fully animated. They look at you, they talk to you. It's, whew, yeah, you can play it together with a backseat gamer and have a really good time. Last night, this was, in fact, hold on, I can show you. Well, I can't exactly because it's daytime. Last night, we had all the lights off in here. Hold on. Last night, I had all the lights off in here except for the red lights. And Gynotype was sitting right here. I had the speakers, the big speakers on. And we were playing Pathologic with all the creepy ambiance just in the dark with the red lights on. And it was amazing. Amazing. Oh, it's amazing. Here, let me give you... So, yeah. The limelights? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And all I'm saying is that the emotional impact of this game is so intense that it doesn't compare to any other game. It really doesn't compare to any other game. Yeah. Yep. Is it a game I should avoid if you're in a bad headspace? Well, that's up for you to decide. But again, personally, I think that this is the type of game that helps you navigate bad headspaces. And it did for me, at least. It was a very therapeutic and cathartic game. Even though it was painful, I cried. It hurts. The game is painful and scary. Pathologic 2, Blue. Yeah, but it's really good, and it deals very bluntly with incredibly serious issues, and for me, that was very cathartic. That was very cathartic for me. It's up for you to decide, but I walked away feeling much more capable to deal with the issues in my life because of some of the stuff that I learned in this game. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. There's so much that I could say about this game. There's so much that I could talk about if I was to do a spoiler review, which will probably do at some point. But my goal with this review is to convince people to go play the goddamn game, okay? Yeah, you know what? Let me play you some ambiance from the game, okay? Let me play you just a little bit of ambiance, okay? Everything, and I mean everything in the game has sound effects, from the creaking boards on the floor to the when you walk by a window, you will hear branches scraping against the window. You will hear rain. If it's raining out, rain will tap against the window. Terrifying, just terrifying. And amazing. And it's 3D sound, which is really incredible because there's a lot of using your ears to find things. Let me see if I can, maybe I can do, you know, maybe I can do the, maybe I can just give you a little bit of this one. Can I get it? Can I find the actual sounds? Let's see if I could do it. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this one. Let's make this one work here. Let's get us inside. Let's get some real scary noises. No one gets to know anything about this. That's just a little bit of a teaser of some of the sounds you'll find in the game. It's called Living in Chicago. Well, fair enough. Well, Blue, don't worry. You'll have to push through some scary moments to get to enjoy the game, but that's the thing. You will be rewarded. And I promise you, as somebody who is a giant, who gets scared very easily in games, I made it, and it was worth it, okay? Don't worry. You are not... Listen, remember, much like a magic show, you're not in danger. Well, maybe your ideology is. Maybe your approach to the world is in danger. But maybe it needs to be in danger. Maybe your worldview needs to be pushed. Maybe you need to be challenged. Because that's kind of what the game's all about, isn't it? Kind of about life. And it's also kind of about death. So go buy Pathologic 2, okay? Please. Seriously. Seriously. Go buy Pathologic 2, okay? And yeah, get the OST and the art book and play it ASAP. Because I promise you, you will walk away feeling very, very happy that you have played one of the most, what I promise you, decades from now, Pathologic 2 will be looked back on as one of the most influential and important works of video game art. I promise you. I promise you. That is true. That is true. We can play this for sure. The original OST is actually amazing in a very different way. Both OSTs are really good, but they are very different. But I will play this one because it's pretty goddamn good. It's so good. This is what the first game looks like. Don't look up guides. Just find a way to win. Find a way to live. Well, yes. There you go. Don't look up guides. Don't do it. Just find a way to live. There's no spoilers. There's no spoilers. There's no spoilers. Maybe it was Comic Fan. I guess you'll have to find out. Maybe it was a bull. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it was something else all entirely. No, it is not supposed to be off screen for this. I always like having my chat on. The game is like $14. It's not bad. And I'll be giving away some codes tonight, by the way. I will be giving away a few copies of Pathologic tonight. So don't you worry. Some people will be getting some free copies tonight. I will be giving away a couple copies. Yeah. Let me play you my favorite song personally, okay? Let me just play you my personal song. And some of you may recognize this, in fact. Some of you may indeed recognize this. Yeah, of course I did. I absolutely love that video. By the way, ASMR Elf Girl Loves You is actually a god tier ASMR video. I will unironically plug that. Softly Galoshes is a amazing ASMR artist, literally one of the best ASMR people of all time, and her videos are god tier. So yeah, just saying. I will unironically just. That's a bonus recommendation. It is fantastic if you're into ASMR, which I am. I am very much into it. Real quick. Here we go. Let me play you a song, okay? Ready? Listen to this. I've played this before, and you also might recognize this. Enjoy. Just enjoy, okay? Victor, you poor man. So good. So good. So goddamn good. And that, my lovely, lovely imps, is DemonMama's review of Pathologic 2. Thank you for attending. And I look forward to my recommendation inevitably torturing you in the name of good.